Let's look at this one, a very interesting problem. It says 8 employees of an organization have been rated on a scale of 1 to 50 for their performance. All ratings are integers, very clearly given to you, so there is no non-integer rating. The rating has to be from 1 all the way up to 50. Total of there are 8 employees. Now let's look at these 8 employees, and I have arranged these in the increasing order of their ratings. That means H being the lowest and all the way up to A being the highest rating. All right. Now let's look at each of the equations one by one. The overall average rating of all 8 employees is 30. If average rating of all 8 employees is 30, that means the sum of scores of all of these 8 individuals should turn out to be 80 into 8 into 30, which is 240. So A plus B plus C plus D plus E plus F plus G plus H will turn out to be equals to 240. Now go a little further. While the 5 employees with the highest rating is 38, so the 5 employees at the highest rating is A, B, C, D, E, right? So that average is 38. So 38 into 5 will give me the total value for A, B, C, D, E, which is 190. Now once you get this equation, you need to understand that you can replace it in the first equation, A plus B plus C plus D plus E. Then you will get the value of F plus G plus H. So 240 minus 190 will give you F plus G plus H as 50. So we now know the bottom 3 by the information that they've given me about the top 5. Clear? Now go to the next one. The 5 employees with the lowest rating is given to me on an average as 25. Who are the lowest 5? D, E, F, G and H, right? What will be the total for their rankings? That will be 125. Now if I know D, E, F, G, H, go back to the first equation again, and that will throw up the value of A plus B plus C, which will be 240 minus 125. That gives me A plus B plus C is equals to 115. Now look at this equation and look at this equation. I know F plus G plus H is 50. I know A plus B plus C is equals to 115. Put it back over here. F plus G plus H will be what? 50. A plus B plus C is what? 115. Then you get the value of D plus E. D plus E will be what? 240 minus 115 plus 50, which is 165. So 240 minus 165 will give you 75. Now D plus E turns out to be 75, the middle two values that we are talking about. This is the information that we can get. Now which of the following is definitely false is what the question is talking about. Now let's try to look at some more inferences from these equations. Now look at D plus E. D plus E is how much? 75. What is the average score of D and E? That will turn out to be 37.5. Now both of these individuals, D and E, cannot be greater than 37.5, because then the average will not be 37.5. So one of them will be lower than 37.5, then the other one will be greater than 37.5. That means if one of these individuals, which is individual D, will be at 38, in that case the individual E will get 37 as the rating. It can be 39, it can be 36, so on and so forth. The average should turn out to be 37.5. That's the idea. Now go to the equation. A plus B plus C is equals to 115. Now 115 divided by 3 will give me the average of these 3. What is the average of these 3? 3 3s are 9 and 25. So 3 8s are 24, 38.33. Now each of these 3 cannot be greater than 38.33. So somebody will have to be lower than 38.33, which brings me to 38. But if the person C is at 38, the lowest possible value, then the only possible value for the person D and E will remain as 38 and 37. There is no other possibility. So that helps us to get down to the value of E at 37. That helps me with D at 38. That leaves me with C at 38, because that's the only possibility for C. Now, if C is 38, go back to this equation and look at A plus B. A plus B will turn out to be what? 115 minus a 38. If you do 115 minus a 38, this will give you 77. A plus B is 77. Now of course both cannot be greater than 77 by 2, because that is the average, right? 77 by 2 will give you a 38.5 as the average. Both cannot be greater than 38.5. So one of them will have to be lesser than 38.5, then the other one will be greater than 38.5. Now look at this, 38.5 lesser than that will be only possibility for B is 38. There's no other possibility for B, and that ensures that the possibility of A turns out to be what? 39. Now let's go to these options and see what is the definitely false option. If you look at option A, the highest rating obtained is 40. That's not possible. That's a false statement. That's a definitely false statement. So that becomes our answer. But let's evaluate the other 4 options also as to how will you be able to say that these are not definitely false. Look at option C. The second highest rating obtained is 38. That is definitely true. What is the median rating of all of these 8 individuals? Median rating will depend upon the middle 2, which is D and E, and the average of 38 and 37 will be 37.5. That's true. Now look at option B. The lowest rating is 1 and the third lowest rating is 37. Now you can always arrange these 3 numbers in different orders and you will have multiple cases. But the question is talking about definitely false. That means that should not be possible. So if I take the third lowest at 37, is there a problem with any of these top 5? Not at all, right? If you take the lowest ranking as 1, you will get this total as 38, and the bottom 3, the total was what? 50. F plus G plus H was 50. So this will become 12. And in this particular situation, the option E and option B turns out to be true. These are not definitely false options. So these are not definitely true options also, I agree to that, but these are not definitely false options. So option A turns out to be a definitely false option, and that will be the answer for this question.